Hi, I'm Enchanting Nubianette. Welcome back. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. Let's talk about Marlon Wayans in the brand new movie Him. I believe, YouTube family, that his performance truly deserves its flowers. And I'm not talking about the goofy, silly guy from White Chicks or Scary Movie. Mind you, if you haven't heard, Scary Movie 6 is going to be released in the near future. Marlon Wayans, in my opinion, he just bodied his role in Jordan Peele's new psychological thriller, well, horror thriller movie Him. So if you haven't seen it yet, you're sleeping. This man, again, in my opinion, and as you may have seen in the trailer, he gave us layers, depth, and a whole new side of his talent that Hollywood has been sleeping on for years. So I'm going to give you a little bit of summary. Now, Peele, he produced this wild movie, but it's directed by Justin Tippin. So this story, everyone, it follows Cameron Cade, played by Tyreek Withers. This young man, I think he's a wonderful, talented actor. I remember seeing him about 2 months ago because I watched a series on Hulu called Tell Me Lies. He had a role in it as well where he played a college student. So let's continue. Now, Cameron Cade, in the movie, he plays as a rising football star who's recovering from a traumatic brain injury after being attacked by a fan in a goat costume. Yeah, that kind of weird movie, everyone. Now, just when his career seemed like it's over and done with, kaput, he gets invited to train with his idol, Isaiah White, played by Marlon Wayans, who is an 8-time championship winning quarterback and a cultural icon. But here's where it gets twisted. Isaiah's compound is isolated, it's eerie, and is full of secrets. So, what starts as a mentorship for Cameron Cade turns into manipulation. Isaiah's charm, it slowly morphs into something very sinister, and Cam finds himself spiraling into hallucinations, blood injections, and psychological torment. And it's horror meets sport drama, which meets like cult vibes in this sports movie, just in time, everyone, for football season. And Marlon, he's a puppet master pulling all the strings. So let's talk now about Marlon Wayans because, again, he ate this role. He played Isaiah White with such like a quiet menace. It's rare to me in the horror genre. You definitely feel his power, his ego, his brokenness. And you know what? He's not only a villain, he's like a symbol of toxic legacy, fame, and even control. Very much so. Now, a lot of critics have been really harsh on the movie overall. I don't agree with them. With the harshness of the movie, I love the fact that it's, focused on sports. And to me, it tells a lot of truth about the sports industry. It doesn't matter if it's football, basketball, um, tennis, hockey. We know with the competitiveness, there's a lot of strain on a lot of players. And of course, to get the numbers, um, the sacrifices that go along with it as well. But I'm not going to focus more on that, but I'll just say a lot of people who are in those industries, especially the higher up, they don't want, fans thinking about the flip side of, the sports and what it does to someone, their self esteem, um, the mindset, like the negative aspects of it. But again, critics, Many of them do believe that Marlon's performance was a standout because he definitely showed emotional range. He went from charismatic, that type of mentor, to manipulative cult leader. There was a lot of physical intensity. The training scenes, get ready for it if you haven't seen it, was really brutal and raw, low down raw. Also, the psychological depth. You never knew what Isaiah was thinking. That was a point. He definitely kept me on my toes, and I'm sure he kept a lot of people on their toes as well, just at the edge of their seat. This is definitely not like a slapstick comedy that you're used to seeing with Marlon Wayans at all, which I love. I love when, an actor has so many different dimensions to them and a lot of range, as I mentioned earlier. This is Oscar worthy. So let's talk about Marlon's resume and the proof that he has been that guy all along. He's so versatile. And these are some of the movies that, I've seen Marlon Wayans for many decades. He's always been hilarious, but these are the more serious films when he started changing and accepting more serious roles. For example, in 1997, he starred in The Sixth Man, which was a comedy with some sports as well. It was like a balanced humor with emotional depth. Then in 2000, there was a movie, Requiem for a Dream. This was a drama, and he played a substance abuser and addict, and it was definitely heartbreaking, very realistic. In 2020, he starred On the Rocks, which was another comedy drama, and he definitely held his own alongside Rashida Jones, the daughter of Quincy Jones, a huge producer, music producer, and also Bill Murray, also well known. Then in 2023, he was another, no, yeah, 2021, excuse me. He starred in Respect. And now this is when I really saw how talented he was because he was so convincing in this biopic when he played Aretha Franklin's first husband. So he starred in this role, he played it to a T, very convincing, and I was really admiring his acting skills, truly. So that was in 2021. In 2023, he starred in Behind the Smile. Now, in this drama, it was not really well known. It's more like an indie film. And again, he played a serious role too. And now in him, this horror thriller, this is definitely a huge career defining role. So if you haven't seen it, go out, enjoy, bring your friends, bring your family members. I think it has a lot of uniqueness and a lot of depth. And again, it talks about the flip side of sports and a dedication to the industry as a player, especially. So, everyone, as we know, many times the academy overlooks, black excellence and even other actors' excellence. I remember I was so surprised because I'm also a Leonardo DiCaprio fan. I was so surprised that he had his first Oscar when he starred in the movie The Revenant, I believe it was called. I believe he had starred in so many superb movies, and I thought he would have gotten an Oscar many years prior to that. So, again, Marlon Wayans, he has been putting in work for decades. I hope that this award doesn't look him over. He has evolved from the sketch comedy to dramatic powerhouse. And him, this movie, YouTube family, it definitely proves that he has a juice. And if you haven't seen that movie Juice with Tupac Shakur, I believe it's Omar Epps, several several great actors. That's an oldie but goodie that I believe that movie came out in the early 90s. That's another great one. But This performance, it challenged him. It was disturbing. It's just it. So I believe he definitely deserves an Oscar award. And you know what? It's not even only for him, even though that's a huge part of it, but also for surviving in an industry, the Hollywood industry, that really tried to box him in for many, many years. And Marlon Wayans, he broke out, and he's definitely breaking barriers. Everyone, if you have seen the movie, or even if you've seen the trailer or his other works, drop a comment below. Tell me what you think about, his acting over the years, and if it has progressed for you, and if you will go see a movie where he's starring in. So thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And stay safe wherever you are. Keep your head on a swivel as well.